Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of ITQ Lightboard video. My name is Yahya Zahedi. I am Virtualization Consultant at ITQ, and today we have a special guest, Thomas Kopton.
Hi, I'm Thomas Kopton. I'm Solution Architect within the Cloud Management Business Unit at VMware. And today we're talking about the sustainability.
What is sustainability in the what is sustainability and how VMware Aria Operations can help in order to achieve sustainability?
Exactly. So we all know that sustainability initiatives are very high on the to-do list of many CIOs, CEOs, and we're here to help achieve those goals. And before we start do anything, improving sustainability, reducing carbon emissions, we need to have a certain workflow to go from zero to hero. And we start, as always, with a discovery phase. Discovery phase where we simply
define our goals.
Exactly. We need to understand what are our goals and is there something we can achieve in the infrastructure, in SDDCs. So now the second step is, once we have understood our goals, we need to create a baseline. So before we start changing things, we need to know where we are. And this is something Aria Operations will already help our customers with, which is creating a Scope 2 analysis. Scope 2, it's also important to know, we are not emitting any carbon emissions, or we're not producing any carbon emissions, we are not producing any greenhouses gases, because we're just using energy in an infrastructure, and the energy is provided by someone else, but we are indirectly responsible for those carbon emissions, therefore Scope 2 under indirect emissions. Now, once we have the baseline, we can try to identify improvement areas. And again, that's something operation will also help us to find those areas, what can be improved to proceed with the initiative. And once we know the improvement areas, that's probably the most important part is
go to action.
Exactly, go to action, do something, change things, and make it better than before, hopefully. And that hopefully is the last part, which is measurement. When we simply check if the things we're doing are really progressing towards our goals. And that's something Aria Operations, especially the Green Score, will help us with.
Nice, but how can I understand that I'm in the right way?
That's the Green Score, which is a number between 0 and 100%. And the number itself is maybe not that important. I mean, it's still important, but the raw number is just a view at the moment. What is important is the measurement, and if this number, if the needle is moving into the right direction. So if I'm going towards 100%, then I'm doing the right thing.
Thank you.
As simple as it is. And the number itself is made up of 3 major components. The first one is so-called green supply, which is contributing 50% to the green score. And the green supply itself has 2 components. The first one is the power sources, and that's the energy mix I am using in my infrastructure. So whether the energy is coming from green resources like wind or solar energy, or it's not, right? So if everything is green, then I will get 100% of 37.5% of this component towards this 50. And the second part is hardware efficiency, which is simply the age of my hardware.
How old are my hardware?
Exactly. And again, here I can be pretty old with my hardware, which is hardware means compute, storage, network, desktops. If the hardware is older than 5 years, then I'm more or less at the 0%. If my hardware is brand new, then I'm at 100% of the remaining 12.5% towards this 50. So that's the one thing which is set up usually once in operations. Once you set up your operations instance, you configure those numbers because that's something we cannot really measure with operations. And that's something which is not changing like every day. So that's set. That's the biggest contributor. It's obvious. Green energy is definitely helping with the initiative. But there's another part we can change, which is clean demand. And this is the consumer side of the story. And the clean demand is contributing 22.5% towards the green score. And that's easy. That's workload efficiency. And the question is here, is there any waste in my environment? So we are also, as similar as the other two, we are measuring the ratio between workloads doing something and the waste.
But what do you mean by waste? Power off virtual machine, a snapshot, orphan deal?
Exactly. That's the waste. Those are resources or resources being consumed, but not really being used, right? Snapshots lying around, powered off VMs. And this is exactly what I can influence every day. So let's go towards acting. Or first step is, of course, identifying. And you can all, if you identify there is waste in the environment, you can use Aria Operations, Automation Central.
Is it inside Aria Operation or should I?
Okay. That's part of Aria Operations. You don't need any orchestrator, Aria Automation. That's part of operations. And it will, with your guardrails, with your settings, it will go to vCenter and power off idle VMs, remove powered off VMs, remove snapshots, help you get rid of the waste, right? And progress towards your goals. And the last thing, because as I said, that's the consumer point of view. And we have also the provider point of view, which is, that's lean operations, which is contributing another 27.5%. And lean operations, again, that's the provider point of view, which has two components. The first one is the virtualization, which is the ratio of virtualized and non-virtualized components. Again, in percent, so if I'm not virtualized at all, that's probably not the case. And 100% when everything is virtualized. And that's also something you need to set up manually in operation because there's no easy way to measure those ratios.
Only in compute layer or network?
Everything. Compute, network, storage, desktop. If you say you are at 100%, everything is completely, totally virtualized, then you will get rewarded with 15% of this lean operations part. And I think you can really, and you should influence every day, is resource utilization. This is very, very important. That's our capacity management. This is what everyone should do every day. Check if the resources I have, compute resources, storage resources, are being really used. And we have in operations two models to very quick to drive the efficiency or to drive the capacity management, the capacity engine. That's the allocation and demand model. We always suggest to use the demand model because that's the best way to increase the efficiency, which is basically, as the name implies, based on the real demand. There are use cases out there where you need to use the allocation model, like if you are a service provider, you're selling cores, you're selling memory, then you will probably go for the allocation model, but then you should be really, really careful with oversized VMs, simply to use your resources as best as possible, right-size the VMs, and this capacity management, resource utilization is contributing the remaining 12.5% to the green score. And this is definitely something we can change every day.
And so it's also
yes,
actionable.
that's definitely actionable. And the most room for improvement will be in those two parts: clean demand, the consumer side of the story, and the lean operations, the provider side of the story. Many things we can do using Aria Operations, go through the whole workflow from discovery to measurement and checking the green score if the needle is going into the right direction. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and see you next time.